Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
For the innovators, the dreamers, the risk takers, independent workers who keep our neighborhoods thriving, Connector Care from the Massachusetts Health Connector has plans for every lifestyle and budget.
Having access to affordable healthcare is for everyone in our community.
Connector Care plans help more people save on healthcare that covers all their needs. Find out if you qualify for Connector Care. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, and we are definitely going to be moving in the We Need to Know space today. Good morning to everybody. Let me go in and see the folks who are in this morning. Who is in this morning? Sister Soraya, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Pastor Marion, great Wednesday and hump day to you as well. Mama Java, as always, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Pastor Marion, I'm not sure what's going on over on Facebook, but here you go. And I'm glad that you're here this morning. Listen, it's We Need to Know Wednesday. We're going to be in quick today because my favorite part of, well, y'all can't see it because let me move over here. Hair's out, about to go get the hair did, and I need to get out of here. Got to be washed, blow dried, all that good stuff. And guess who's doing it? Me. But we need to know that while Boston is changing from a very, very interesting, racist, supremacist, violent, lying history. Jimmy, what are you talking about? Last week, I got an invitation. Shout out to Janae, deputy editor over at the Globe. Janae Alsterheld, who ensured that Black and Brown media was in the building last night. I had the opportunity to attend HBO Max's documentary coming out very soon called Murder in Boston. Some of you may remember the name Charles Stewart, Carol Demedy Stewart, I believe. I want to get her name right because she was killed by her husband. But that was not found out. For those of you that don't know, we did not know that until weeks after our city was turned upside down. Black and brown Boston, black men, the ensuing of stop and frisk. Oh, this film is about to expose Boston's history. I had the opportunity last night to stand next to Mr. Landsmark, the young man that is in a world-renowned picture for a flagpole being pointed at him while he was going to an affirmative action meet. I'm hot this morning, y'all. Not hot, but I was laughing at Miguel last night because he was hot from the movie. A lot of our young people in this city do not know the history of the Stuart case. And so I want to make sure you guys are aware of this film that is coming out on December 4th. All right, let me get this here. Here we go. We're going to get the big screen. I had to steal it because I don't know if HBO or Facebook was going to cut me off for showing this. I'm not. Bro, I am not shading you. But listen, a lot of our, and not even that, a lot of our, so this was in 89. This is 23, going on 34 years ago. Somebody help me get the math right. A lot of our young people don't know about this case. and for various reasons in this city. We'll leave that alone. But Boston has a very, very, very interesting history. And for those of you that don't remember, watch this here. This may just be a little reminder of what went down in October of 1989. And here I go.
From Boston tonight, we have a nightmare story of random crime and violent death.
October 23rd, 1989. A 911 call comes into State Police Dispatch.
What's your name, sir?
Stuart, Stuart.
There's been a murder at Mission Projects.
My wife's been shot. I've been shot.
Husband and wife who was pregnant.
Out of the way.
The Stuart case is the ultimate truth serum of the city of Boston.
Boston was stunned by the murder of a pregnant woman.
Her husband, Charles, is still hospitalized.
When crimes happen in certain parts of Boston,
he forced his way into their car.
Were shot by a black man. We all fit the description.
Cities are naturally segregated. Boston takes it to an extreme.
Let us go to our neighborhoods where our kids are safe.
The 70s were a very tumultuous time in Boston. There was persistent racial violence.
You had heard this legend of Boston as a birthplace of democracy, but then we also have another history as well. That people will just call this the most racist city in America.
I instructed the police commissioner to be as aggressive as they ever have been before.
They took my house all apart.
They drove me down to South Boston. I was a scared kid.
How'd you happen to come here tonight? Blind free will.
On free will. That's not true.
When you're police, your job is to investigate all aspects.
A murder that grabbed the nation's attention takes a bizarre turn.
This story didn't add up.
We've been waiting for this case to be uncorked.
When you start connecting all of these dots, it creates a really ugly puzzle.
We knew what was about to happen. This is going to end badly for everybody.
Let me tell y'all, just in the introduction alone, let me get this blue screen off. And Miguel, my B, he said, bro, laughing my effing A off. I was trying to forget about it till December 18th. Look at you making me think again. I told Miz that he's going to need to come. He ain't watching that alone. In all seriousness, I have to celebrate the documentarian. I can't remember his name. It was Jason H. something. He also did, Miguel, remind me, he also did the Michael Jordan documentary. And when I tell you, so Miguel had his own triggering, and I sat there and was reminded and went back. October of 1989, your boy wasn't doing that well. My mom remembers I called myself dropping out of high school after February vacation in my junior year. And the only reason I was out of school so long because my mother couldn't get time off of work to come and get me back in school. So I had messed up a little bit. And I had to wind up going to night school in my senior year. I believe it was on a Tuesday or Thursday night. I believe the murder happened on a Monday. And either that week or the next week or over the next few weeks. But I remember this one night. We were walking. I was walking up past, I don't know if the new post office was there yet or if it was the old post office. And I got to where what we would call the yellow building. Tech was already over there, so it was Boston Tech. And I remember getting ready to go in night school. And from B2, I mean 30, just cruisers, just bang, 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 bang. And if you remember, and the movie reminds you of it, and I'll be honest, I don't remember them accusing the first one, but I remember the name, and some of you all may remember the name Willie Bennett. That rocked this city. That is what caused The police to go. You listen. December 4th, December 11th. Turn in HBO Max. They need to get me a check. I just saw something here about sending love and prayers to family. All right, we need your prayers, my cousin. Okay, let's pause. Heidi, good morning, family. We need your prayers. One of my cousins passed away. Heidi, we will definitely keep you in prayer. Anthony, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. And Heidi, that just threw me off real quick. And so, Heidi, we will definitely keep you in prayer. Pastor Marion is saying nothing about what her husband claimed to have happened sounded truthful. So, all right, let me focus and get back. Ms. Okay, I will do my best not to make you go back in. Heidi said it was the new post office wasn't there. When I heard it on the news, sounded like a lie. So listen, Lasagna, let me tell you something. Not only is this documentary going to trigger a lot of PTSD, but what it's going to do is cause the city of Boston to have a very real conversation about its racist ways. The thing that is so amazing to me is that HBO went in and did whatever they do to digitize some of the old film. And in this film, you see the racist, bigot, white people over in South Boston that were determined that their way of life was not going to be changed by black and brown students being bused over to their school. Some of the faces, some of the resemblance of, they look like somebody that I used to work with in City Hall. Oh, is that such and such 20 years ago? Boston's going to have a real conversation. You can't. One of the things that really bugged Miguel last night was the history is not out there. By intention, I don't know, probably more than likely. Boston is changing. And I got to say, with this current, it's probably on its fastest trajectory to changing. Are there still concerns? And do we have a canyon of improvement? Yes, we do. However, this history cannot be swept under the rug. And thanks to HBO Max, Lord have mercy, this city, the Reparations Commission, Black Men and Boys Commission, tourism, everybody going to need to figure out how we going to address this and move on. One of the things that I've been trying to communicate, and maybe I haven't done a good enough job. I was very vocal the past few years about people like Aaron Murphy, Frank Baker, John Fitzgerald coming in, replacing him. I don't know. But here's where last night took me. Many of those people that were throwing rocks and racists are working in City Hall, in the State House. They are state police and they are Boston police, first generation. That mentality has transcended or was passed down to their children, who are also potentially racist, who are in City Hall, state government, the police, and state police. The mentality of the racists. There was footage last night where this woman from South Boston said that because she felt, and her teacher told her that black and brown young people were coming to the schools over there, that she dropped out of school and is not, first of all, that I'm not even going to go there because the entire crowd cracked up because it was just ridiculousness. My point is that this film digs deep. It goes back. Howard Bryan, I believe his name is. I got to get the brother's name. There's one of the young men that's featured in the trailer. He's a reporter, along with Dart Adams. That the Dart Adams just breaks it all down in here. Here it goes. She dropped out in 8th grade because she was being taught 4th grade work. Heidi, this is my point. The mentality is still here. It just looks different. It's about 15, 20 years younger. In some cases, maybe 30, but the seed of that mentality is still there. And so if you have with this case or any other case or the way that mainstream media is portraying us, any trigger of any seed of that racism that is watered by a misinterpretation of experience, watered by a story about a black man or a black woman, watered by or given light by something, that thing will grow. And then you're wondering why certain things are. I've said this before. At the cabinet level, things are changing in Boston. But you still got this mentality of which Jordana speaks, Jordana speaks, that talks about this is so much to unpack. The nepotism of the hiring. I say this respectfully. This is no disrespect to a white family in the building and things like that. But when you got a whole bunch of Murphys, Fitzgeralds, O'Sullivans, and O'Briens, and Sullivans, all up in City Hall and the State House, yes, nepotism is very real. Not only the nepotism, but also that mentality to which we speak. I work with a lot of them at the hotels and listen, y'all gonna get me some. My parents were afraid for my brother. Pam said, girl, that part. It's just, and this is the part everybody talks about. Knowing is half the battle. A lot of people don't know about this. And there's so many things that to unpack here. What is going to be the reaction of the young people from this city? For a lot of us old heads now that were in school, Reverend Jeff Brown is featured in part 3. He was there last night talking about he was in his 20s. And that he was in his 20s back then, new pastor out in Cambridge, very active. And there was a lot going on. Bruce Bowling was, what did I do, Jesus? Hold on. Something switched up. Okay, here we go. Something switched up over here real quick. And I'm getting a little too happy and unplugging stuff. Bruce Bowling, there's footage of him being upset. Listen, this city's going to have a real conversation. And I encourage everybody on December 4th, December 11th, and December 18th to tune your happy selves in to HBO Max. Because for those that don't know, you need to know. And for those that do know, you will not believe what they uncovered. There's footage from the scene. There's footage of Carol in the car. They talk about there was a reporter from the I don't want to tell y'all everything. Y'all need to go and watch it. I don't want to be a spoiler, but this is going to be. Miguel said, I promise you, if I have not heard this story, there's a whole generation, both white and black in our city, that don't know this, especially the college crowd. And this is the thing. Stop that damn Java. It really, listen, Aaron said, oh, Jesus. Aaron said I wasn't even born yet. Aaron, Anthony, y'all, listen. It's weird because I'm like, okay, maybe we should have a watch party or a convo about it, because one of the things that Miguel, I think, struggled with, and what I sensed from him, was the unawareness, and then to be aware like that. And then he's able to equate, and we are too, but we've seen it and we've lived it. And so it may not be as much of a slap in the face for us, but for the younger generation to see what happened then, to put their experiences in today, in them growing up in a George Floyd period, it's going to be very interesting. Jasmine, Heidi, we should have a watch party. I would just need to figure out. I could do it somewhere through Verizon Watch and something on HBO, or I don't know. I don't know. Java After Dark watch party, then discussion. That's what I'm thinking about. But we'd have Anthony. We'd have to. It's the 4th, which is next Monday. So I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off, but what I will be willing to do is at the end of the film, hold space and come together for us to have a conversation about it, bring some folks in. I think one of the first thing, all right, so we're going to do this in real time. Get some young folks to come in on the 4th. On the 11th, I think it's maybe the older heads. And then on the 18th, maybe a mixture of the young people and older people. And we'll have to figure it out. Or it could be the next day. But I definitely want to figure out how to do it. Miguel said we need to do a Twitter Spaces or IG Live recap conversation after every episode. Heidi said, Anthony, let's go. Okay, so there's a whole lot going on between now and next. I'm supposed to have an event next Thursday. All right, let me back up. And as Miguel said, let me sip my Java. Excuse me. But Pam has a couple of sentences here, and I know it's going to spark me and Miguel up. I'm interested in hearing from other folks on how not to only watch this with my son, but also have conversations after that. So let's go. Let's go into that. Pam, one of the first things I would say is prepare him. Make sure he wears his Java with Jimmy hoodie while he's watching. Ask him maybe how he feels about racism. I'm sure you talk about it. I would maybe ask him, he looks to be about 13, 14. Ask him, has he ever experienced anything maybe with the police? I would prepare him that a lot of what he's going to see, one, is going to look very old. Two, he may be, on one hand, our generation to some extent has had experience in a world of freedom where racism is being addressed, and they may have been untouched at that age rather. But on the other hand, some of them are sitting back and watching, if they're politically astute, if their parents, get them in the current events and stuff. And so it can go either way. You know your child best. But I would prepare him that now, if they're going to, Jasmine, Tiffany was there last night and seen it. Tiffany, how would you talk to your children? Pam asked the question. How would you prepare your son that's a tween, a preteen, to get ready to watch that film? Tiffany, you saw it as a mother. Put some thoughts or comments in there on how you would prepare him. Pam, the last thing I would say to you and Jasmine is also watch them. There may be points that you may have to make a decision and stop the movie, because and it's hitting me now. Watching some of the imagery, because we lived this. I wasn't as, in tune and watching the news and the paper and whatnot, but we only had like 4 or 5 stations back then. I think cable may have just came out. But it was 4, 5, 7, 25, 38 news. And so you were not untouched by it. Someone asked me last night, James, were you pulled over? I was pulled over once, not related to this case, but was I stopped and frisked while this was going on? No, I was not. But there are, when y'all see, first of all, the nasty, crooked, if Boston Police Department's worst case scenario was a picture or was a person, this Officer Dunn would be in high ranking to be that picture. And I don't know if he didn't care, or I don't know if it's just so embedded in him, but you'll see assertions he made, and then the Bennett family coming back and saying the truth, and he's still lying. Let me pause there. This is not gone from our system. Black and brown men are still being targeted. Black and brown men are still being bought into side rooms to say, this is what you're going to say. This is what you're going to do. Look at cases. His own Willie Bennett's nephew, shout out. And his family calls him Toot, but he shared with me that Toot was the old him. And so I was surprised to see Joey Bennett on the screen last night, but Joseph Bennett, Yard Time Entertainment was There's a part in the movie that is just very emotional, and I literally wanted to get up last night and go hug him. Listen, first of all, can I just pause and say, Aaron, Miguel, and Pam, forget y'all. Aaron talking about I wasn't born. Pam talking about I was 8. Miguel wasn't born. But this is, and let me kill a devil here too. The reason I'm concerned and the reason I'm saying we need to be prepared and have a conversation. is because watching this film, a young person that was stopped and frisked, them watching this film to get some contextual history or historical context, rather, of where a lot of this racism is embedded. That man, Brian Howard or Howard Bryant, the reporter, in addition to Dart Adams, kept it real, correlated between the busing and in 1989, Boston's race. What he said in the trailer was not verbatim, but basically the Stuart case was the picture of Boston, the truth of Boston. The other thing that is so amazing that this film brings out is that, and not to well, I'm gonna keep it 100. They didn't give Mel King enough credit in the film. I don't want to spoil it for y'all. All right, so I'm gonna back off the film a little bit because it's 9:30 and I got to go get ready to get out of here. Make sure that you all plan to watch all 3 episodes. I'll get with the team and figure out. Tiffany said the racism made me so mad. Let me go up and check a couple of comments before I get off of here. But Tiffany, please at some point inbox me or whatever, based on you seeing the film and your thoughts as a mom, on how you would talk to your children and prepare them for this. There was some other, let me see, were there any other moms in there? Reverend Brown's wife was there. I can check with him. I'm just doing a scan in my head of mothers that were there that maybe, Pam, I can connect you with. I can't remember right now, but we'll figure it out. But it definitely, and Pam, thanks for raising that. If you're going to have your children watch this, think about how to prepare them. What's up, show? Good to see you in the room. I was talking about you to DP yesterday. Just mention your name if he knew you. Tiffany, thank you. All right, Tiffany, please inbox me and let me know your thoughts on how parents can prepare their children for this film. Folks, I hate to get in and we and y'all are in here today. But if I miss this appointment, I'm going to be in trouble, and I can't walk around with this for the next few weeks. So anyway, let me put that book over here so y'all can see it. Murder in Boston is going to, whether folks want to or not, is going to force us to have real conversations. And let's be 100. Let's name where we were. Let's acknowledge where we are, and let's plan to where we want to go. That is not just on City Hall, the State House. That's on us as well. From demanding certain things, but then I'm not going to go here. I'm just going to say this. Generally speaking, we got some housekeeping to do as well. We got enough fighting us on the outside, trying to come in and infiltrate. Some of the stuff in infighting we got going on, and I've been a part of it, we got to figure that out. Less now. Some folks, let's go back to 2020. Love is the foundational thing, but sometimes I have to employ tough love, and sometimes I got to love you from a distance. And at the end of the day, I still love you, but I love me and my peace as well. But that does not negate the fact that we need to see the humanity in each other and figure out, as Rodney said, how we all get along. Our quality of life as a society, whether we want to believe it or not, is dependent upon each other. If you're going through and something's going on and it impacts you, and you work at the billing office, and I call one day asking for an extension, and you're upset and you just having a bad day, and you got the power to say yes or no of a week's extension on my electricity bill, and you decide to say no, my electricity's cut off, the trickle effect of that family, maybe in the winter, may not have as much, not that far-fetched, y'all. So it is important that we care about humanity in each one. And I'm getting too deep, so I'm going to get off of here. Roy said, you can only love someone as much as you love yourself. It starts with self-love. Asia brought it up the other day and tagged me in the post. Self-love is the best love. Similar to the plane and the oxygen mask. Love yourself. Not too much. But, uh-oh. All right. After... Miguel, share your observation, and then I'm going to get off of here. I'm so afraid of what he's going to say. Listen, I made a mistake. Yesterday, I told you all that Anissa was coming in today. Anissa is actually scheduled for tomorrow. Please come in tomorrow and meet Anissa Benjamin. For those of you that have not met her in person, Miguel, what? I don't know if this should be a text or a comment, but Jay, I'm about to go. I'm about to get off here. Listen, everyone, tomorrow morning, Anissa Benjamin, brand success, an author. She is the brand manager here. Speaking of brand management, y'all, that reel over on Instagram. Yo! First of all, I'm not going to call you two because we had a conversation and I just don't based on what you said to me. Now, I got to tease you a little bit, not you, but when HBO forever put Joey up on if anything, I would call you yard time, bro. Listen, first of all, last night, bro, I wanted to get up and hug you because there was a lot in that film and you live this. This isn't us observing as community members for you. This was your life and your family, sir. And so one, respect and honor for your transparency in the film. Respect and honor, sir, for what you've come home and have done. And hopefully that connection last night supports that. But I'm so honored, man, to see your name pop up in here this morning. I'm going to say yard time. I'm not going to call you Joey or Toot as well. But respect, sir. Respect. At some point, I did tell him last night, I said, we need to get you booked. Boston's going to have a real conversation about this. And getting back to my last point before I saw yard time pop in, we got to love each other. Asia, you reminded us this morning on a tag that you put on the page. Self-love is the best love. And I've often said, sometimes for your own peace of mind, you have to employ tough love and loving from a distance. And even in humanity and all that we have to do toward peace and acknowledging the racism and white supremacy in the city, it's going to take unconditional love for us to move on and love for ourselves. I'll leave that there. Everyone have a great day. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. Please don't forget Anissa tomorrow morning at 9. And I think that is it. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh, shoot.